Get candid with it.
The star is born, Eli.
Candid truth. Dealing in the White House.
A new world order.
Bible prophecy.
Is not an alien force already among us?
We're gonna talk about the truth. We're gonna get candid with it. Candid truth.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us at Candid Truth. We're going to talk about the truth. We're going to get candid with it. And right now, we have to talk about what was going on with the whole Charlie Kirk incident because everybody's talking about it and everybody has a different angle going on. And, you know, I wanted to wait, look at a lot of evidence before I just jumped on. I know a lot of people were jumping on like the day of and the day after. And I've seen people have to recant things that they said the day before, and I didn't want to fall into that trap. I knew from the very beginning that I was already seeing some things that caught my attention because anytime a major incident happens that's spread all over the controlled propaganda, mainstream media news, my antennas always go up. I'm always looking, always analyzing, and always skeptical that what we're being shown is actually a real event or is there some kind of agenda behind what's happening? How are they going to use this crisis? These people have openly said, never let a good crisis go to waste. You know, these are the type of people who control the world. And so I'm always looking out for those types of things. I got my brother, Jeremy Serrato, here today. He's going to help me balance me out a little bit. No, what's up, man? Glad to have you on here, bro.
Glad to be on.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, what did you think when you first saw it? I know, like, you messaged me, and then we kind of were going back and forth, but I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I've actually seen quite a few people change their mind about what they initially thought. And so that's why I want to talk about this. We want to look at a lot of the evidence, the details, and just the thing is, I don't ever want to turn a blind eye to anything. I'm not going to just say, oh, well, the news told me, so I believe what the news said. I don't think that, you know, we should feel bad or guilty or shameful about looking at the details. You know, anytime there's a court case or a murder or anything, you're supposed to look at evidence and try to find out who did it. What was the motive? Was this story real? Was somebody being set up? All these things. Like, that was never looked at as a bad thing in the past. But now you're supposed to just trust everything that's fed to you from the mainstream media source.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely thought, you know, actually it was you that sent a link to my wife, and she forwarded it to me, and I watched that, and it kind of changed my perspective a little bit. My initial thoughts were, wow, this guy. Okay, first of all, we had something like this just happen with Trump. This is just, I mean, he was just
talking about the ear thing.
The ear thing. He was shot at. It was an assassination attempt. And when I saw that, I think I was maybe the only person that I could see in my circle that was really questioning the entire situation. And like you said, when the mainstream media pushes it, has a specific agenda that they're moving in a specific angle, you wonder, what are they trying to feed me right now? I don't want to eat it.
Yeah.
And so you kind of start questioning things. And so I had some challenges with that. And but when it happened to Charlie, I thought, oh, this is terrible. That's horrible. And, you know, we're not trying to be insensitive or anything like that. We're just trying to look at the facts, and we've got a lot of information to share. And but my initial thoughts were, I was shocked. I was completely shocked. And I was brokenhearted too. And so you go through a lot of those emotions when you look at these characters, you look at these individuals, and you get connected to them because you have a similar. It's like they speak for you in some. So when they speak, you're like, yeah, give it to them, let them have it, and so it's really emotional, really fast. We got to be careful.
Yeah, I'll admit I never even knew who Charlie Kirk was until this happened, and then I started seeing what was going on. But I guess that might have played out in my favor, actually, where I didn't have any
I
kind of
think it did.
attachment to him. Yeah, and like
On
Ravi
either side.
Zacharias. Yeah, Ravi Zacharias. I loved when he would go to colleges and just destroy atheists and make them think rationally and all that kind of stuff. And I did have an
Yeah.
attachment to him. I was like, this guy is
That
awesome.
was
And
that was
then
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
A modern Ravi Zacharias. I didn't have a connection to Ravi, so I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, whatever. And then when he came out having that challenge,
Yep. There was a
everyone
sex scandal
knew about
out
that.
there. All these, he would go
I
travel
wasn't
as a
connected in any way.
yeah. He would go
but
travel
you
as a man
were,
of
and
God
I was-
and manipulate women into doing sexual things with him, and keeping it silent because it would destroy his ministry and all this stuff. And we actually, when I was on Little Light, we did a show about it because we were trying to figure out, like, what do you do with his books that are out there? These books that have literally, like, put atheists in their place, where they had to change their mind and think rationally and logically. That information is still valid, no matter whose mouth it comes from. And I made the point, even if Hitler said something true, it's still truth.
Right.
We'll often,
Like the Catholic Church and abortion, you don't
Yeah.
turn from that teaching because it's true.
right. So that's kind of how we're setting this up, I guess, is that here's a person that many people looked up to because he had a lot of good points. He was, shutting down this twisted wokeism mindset. But
Yeah.
something I've been saying a lot
Very
lately,
well,
man.
too.
Yeah, and something I've been saying a lot lately with Trump, because so many people are all in support of Trump because he's getting rid of wokeism and he's doing all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, those things are good, but you have to understand that both sides, left and right, Democrat, Republic, they're both controlled by Satan. The Bible says,
By the same puppet master.
yeah, the Bible says Satan is the god of this world. We battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the rulers of the darkness of this age. It's all a show. The thing is all the other countries that have dictators and stuff, and people know that they're slaves, and they end up having an uprising. And America has been so strategic about it to where it's just this pendulum effect. So if you're conservative minded, you get your leader for 4 years, and as the left is getting angry because they're not getting their side, now it's voting time, and now you get yours. It's always back and forth, always Republican, Democrat,
And
Republican.
there's truths on both sides. There's also error on both sides. That's why it's so easy for there to be this dichotomy, this separation, this divide.
Yeah. So if you're a conspiracy theorist at all and you do any kind of research, you'll hear about something called the Hegelian dialectic. You'll hear about order out of chaos, and and 2 steps forward, 1 step back. All these things are what's happening right now. We were funneled into this chaos. Like, there's 86 genders. If you don't cut the genitals off your child, your kid's going to be taken away. Every sane person knew that was wrong. So now when Trump comes in and he's getting rid of all that stuff, people are cheering and applauding like he's doing something great, when really he's just bringing back normal. That's really nothing to be applauded.
That's it.
Yeah, he's bringing back normal, and at the same time, still creeping in the agenda. He's the one that, right when he came in, said, we're going to roll out Stargate AI governance. So is that something that we want, to be controlled by AI?
AI.
Yeah, so him and whoever was before him, I can't even remember these guys anymore, but the president before him, who was the Democrat, they all had the same agendas. It was all the medical care, the space travel stuff, the AI stuff. It's all the same. I mean, back
Exactly.
yeah, back when he was in, the Republicans were like, oh, we don't like Elon. He wants to microchip your brain. And then all of a sudden he's Trump's right-hand man.
And then they were pushing the microchips. They were pushing all that same exact stuff on the Republican conservative side.
Yep.
There were articles that came out and said, yeah, they're going to push like the vaccines and all these things. And we said, what?
And everybody's
It's
just like, cool.
Who are you going to fool? And then they were like, cool, awesome, my guy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's the same guy.
Yep.
It's just that you won because now it's your guy.
Exactly. So I do want to start out by saying, now that we've kind of laid that foundation that both sides are puppets, I don't trust anyone involved in politics, and I don't trust anyone that has a huge platform, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's mainstream media news, whether it's the music industry. I don't trust those people because I know what the Bible says, that that Satan took Jesus to a high mountain and said, I'll give you all the kingdoms of the world if you just bow to me. Satan is the God of this world, and he can offer you all those things. Look, think about how many amazingly talented people who are out there who are never going to be anybody in the limelight because they refuse to sign a contract, right? And so it's the same thing with politics or Hollywood or the industry. I don't trust, if you have that big of a platform, automatically I think you're a part of it. You're on the inside club, you're Freemason, whatever. You don't just get to those places organically anymore. There might have been a time where your talent got you fame. There might have been a time like that, but it doesn't happen anymore. That's why you have all these people who lack so much talent and these mumble rappers and all this stuff, because it's not about talent. It's about agenda now. So with that said, what people were really excited about was that Charlie Kirk inspired people to go to church. I mean, this is all stuff that happened after his death.
Yeah.
But people are saying
Charlie Kirk effect.
Yeah, the Charlie Kirk effect. I mean, look at these comments. I actually screenshotted these comments.
I have a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, bro, the amount of people saying they'll go to church Sunday is inspiring. So one thing I'm hearing from Sabbath keepers, including Adventists and whoever else, they're saying that they really look up to this guy because he keeps the seventh-day Sabbath, and he's promoting that. But I'll be honest, when I heard him talk about it, mostly it had to do with time with family. I mean, he said, that's the day I shut my phone off, you know, and his wife is saying that's the time I get to see him. He's not distracted by a million texts and messages and emails and all that stuff. And the Sabbath is about family, but it's mainly about God. And so when this person says, bro, the amount of people saying they'll be going to church Sunday is inspiring, I'm actually not seeing anything. I'm not seeing any of these comments say, wow, Charlie Kirk inspired me to keep the seventh-day Sabbath. They inspired them to go to church on Sunday. This next one says, this hit hard. I'm admittedly an alcoholic and substance abuse, all this stuff. I felt sad, angry, devastated. Something inside me changed for the better. 2 days sober now. I pray for Charlie and his family. Life goes on, but his name will live forever.
This is largely an emotional experience with a lot of people.
Right, it happened during 9/11, right?
Go so far. Yeah.
When 9/11 happened, people were in the churches.
Yeah. That's right.
This girl says, I'm returning back to church after 23 years. I purchased my first Bible, and I'm closer to God today because of Charlie. Because of Charlie. I get it. Yeah. There are people that inspire you. Like I have people in my life who have walked with me through my journey and my growth and everything. And so if Charlie, something that he said resonated with people and it's inspiring them to read the Bible and go to church, that's awesome. I'm thankful that people are actually giving God a chance, reading his word, and going to church. But that doesn't mean that he's innocent or anything, you know? Because my thing is the Hegelian dialectic. Satan plays both sides. It's good cop, bad cop. He has to, in order to deceive the entire world. It says that the dragon is going to deceive the world. It doesn't say the dragon is going to deceive the liberal left, right? So how can he deceive the conservative right? There's got to be a charismatic leader that's really inspiring and everybody looks up to him. Trump was one of those already.
For years.
Yeah.
Right.
And so these are all just screenshots of people saying they're going to church after, not going to church for 30 years, 10 years. I was an atheist. Me and my husband are going to church after a long time. I haven't been to church. All these people are saying they haven't been to church, but I keep seeing return to church this Sunday. And this last one says
it's going to play into it.
Yeah, I'm going to church. I'm going to the church first time with my husband this Sunday to honor Charlie. What about to grow spiritually or
Wow.
to get closer to God, to honor Charlie? That's not the right motive to go to church.
But you know what? I think that is largely one of the major spirits that is pushing that. Is that this is a very emotional experience, emotional time for everybody. And it is a honoring of this man, really, in many cases, more than honoring of God.
Yeah.
So we've got to be super careful with that. It says right here, actually, that the Google search for church is highest in 12 months right here.
Oh,
so
wow.
People are searching it. I mean, this thing is literally exploding worldwide.
Yeah, this has only been like a week, if that.
It's not even been a week, I don't think, yeah.
Wow. This is the last page, I think, but it's like my husband and I have been talking about going to church. It's like all these people are saying, like, you know what? I haven't been to church for a long time. I've been kind of considering church, but this event is going to make me go. And it's, of course, it keeps saying Sunday and stuff. So
yeah, you go on and on and on and on. We've got a whole dozens and dozens and dozens of posts from Twitter or X and all kinds of other things saying the same things.
Yeah, and so you and I believe the same way prophetically. We understand that there's going to come a one world government, a one world religion. It's actually going to look a lot like Christianity. It's going to look like peace and love, and it says that when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them. I grew up on movies like Left Behind, and it always made this. There's always this one leader that was the ruler of the world, and he just hated Christians. He was killing them in the streets and stuff. That's really not how it's going to be at all. That's not deceptive. How's he going to deceive the whole world by just killing anyone who believes in the Bible or it says, do you believe in Jesus? Bam, you're dead. That's not deceptive. Satan's actually going to appear as Christ. A supernatural being is going to do lying signs and wonders, performing miracles. And people, the Christian church has just lost all discernment about that. They think, if it's a miracle, it's got to be from God.
And can you imagine the emotional response that is going to bring?
Oh, dude, it's going to be crazy.
I mean, it's going to be game over.
Satan is a master manipulator, and that's why Jesus said, when they said, what will be the sign of your coming? And he says, look, when they say I'm in the desert, don't go. When they say I'm in the secret chamber, don't go. He's saying, don't even look, because if you look, you will fall for it. There's no way that you're going to overcome this being face to face with a supernatural being that's an angel of light that's doing miracles. What's that?
It's a magnetic pole. There's no way you can resist it except for being under Christ.
Right. And this is why it's so important to, some people are like, well, let's not get into doctrinal beliefs. Let's just agree. Let's just talk about the things that we all agree on. We believe in Jesus. That's something good. But it's like when it comes to the timing of the rapture, let's not talk about that. What the millennium is like or what happens when you die. All these things are so important. And yet people don't want to talk about them because it's triggering. But what happens when you don't, when you believe like there's a pre-trib rapture, or, you don't understand that Jesus isn't going to touch the ground.
Right, right. The basic doctrines on the second coming and these different things like that. Not being prepared for that, you're going to fall.
Right.
And of
He
course,
says,
spiritualism and the state of the dead and all this kind of stuff, it's going to be big. And
yeah,
everything's going to consolidate. Everything is going to come to one truth.
yeah.
And we're going to have nothing to stand on unless we have some understanding.
Yeah, because he says, I'm coming like lightning flashes from the east to the west, and the dead in Christ and the righteous living will be caught up to meet the Lord in the air. It doesn't say, I'm going to come down on earth and I'm going to be beautiful and I'm going to be doing miracles and
Right. It's
bringing
going to be
peace.
1,000 years of peace. And then, oh, here's these guys who are not allowing us to have that peace. Look at these guys
Yeah.
over here. You're going
He
to have
actually
cancel culture. You're
says,
going to see cancel culture in all that. It's not going to go away.
yeah. And he actually
It's going
says,
to be perfected.
I am not coming to bring peace, but division with a sword, you know? So it's just amazing that, like you said, just these fundamental beliefs about the second coming, so many people don't understand those things that when they see a supernatural being on earth doing miracles, they're just going to fall for it, including us. Like you and I, even
Yeah.
knowing what we
Yes.
know, knowledge isn't,
100%.
yeah, knowledge isn't just enough when you're face to face.
100%.
I've
That's
I've been
right.
I've been telling our audience on here that I'm more fearful of the deception than I am the persecution. I'll torture me because I know I'm going to have a crown of life, but Lord, help me to not be deceived when I'm face to face with a supernatural being and I have feelings of love, and people think that the devil can't do that, but
Yes.
New Agers feel
No.
love. New Agers talk to Jesus. New Agers do healing, Reiki healing and crystal healing and all this stuff. All those things are of the devil. And yet people think if it feels good, it must be right.
Yeah, because emotions are very powerful, and you're hitting
Yeah.
on it right now because that's what it's going to be. And I think that's what it is now with the Kirk effect and all this other stuff. I think that people are very emotionally, they're being brought in through emotion.
Yeah.
And like again, we're not trying to be insensitive because, there's a lot of people mourning and we have respect for that, but that's what we're seeing is that we're being brought in through emotion, and we're going to continue seeing that when angels come down.
Yeah.
And we start hearing the music that they're singing.
Oh man.
It's going to be like, whoa. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to uh, cripple us in emotional love. I mean, it's going to be a feeling, but it's going to be powerful, more powerful than anything we ever knew or
Goosebumps,
could ever know.
tears. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, goosebumps, tears, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to run for it. We're going to run straight to it. It's not about knowledge, like you said. At that point, it's not knowledge.
Yeah.
If we are, that's why music can be so dangerous, because it bypasses the frontal lobe.
Right.
So you can't critically think and analyze what is coming into your brain. The music, it just comes straight in, and you're like, oh.
Yep.
And so you got to be careful. They're going to be singing. You're going to be having this emotional response, and it's game over.
Yeah, you could take a song and replace the word Jesus with Lucifer, and you're going to feel those same goosebumps. You're going to feel, oh man, this is amazing. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's
Right.
the power of the
Heartwarming.
music, the emotional of the music. It's not the words. So let's go to some of these slides here, because this is some stuff I'm not sure that everybody knows this, but Charlie Kirk's wife is a Catholic.
Yeah, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, she's a baptized Catholic.
That's a shock to me, because I was sharing with you, and I don't know how what your audience knows about Charlie, but Charlie he went up against this other
Michael Knowles, right?
Michael Knowles. Yes, thank you, Michael Knowles. And they were going back and forth between Protestantism and Catholicism, and it was just going back and forth. And I would say Charlie had a lot of good points. He had a lot of good points. So I'm thinking to myself, man, here's this guy who's Protestant, and he's talking about the papacy, or sorry, he's talking about Pope Francis as a Marxist. And these are like bold claims. You don't just make these claims.
Yeah.
You don't just say these things unless you're going to be attacked, right? Because that's a very important system that they have established. And so when you showed this to me, I thought to myself, what on earth? I mean, how can you even be divided like that? That's a big
Right.
divide.
Yeah.
The Protestantism and Catholicism, I would argue that might be one of the greatest divides we have in the entire world, more than black and white and all this other stuff they're trying to do. Protestantism and Catholicism, where do you combine that?
Yeah,
Or
and
opposite thoughts.
so when I was sharing that I think that this is all strategically planned out for a purpose, Satan is trying to get the left and the right to come together. Like, first there's going to be chaos, order out of chaos. So we have to come to like a civil war or something. I believe that there's just going to be chaos everywhere, and then ultimately Satan, but under the guise of, the Pope or whoever, will say, look, we need to put in some strict laws, and because we need peace. So I was already looking at it like this, but I had people telling me like, no, you're not seeing it right. You're missing it. The Catholic Church hates him. And I'm like, that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like people taking mass for Charlie. I'm seeing articles about that, news articles, priests and stuff.
It's ecumenical. Yeah. It is a. I mean, that's essentially what it became. Maybe he wouldn't have said it himself, but what it became was this ecumenical interfaith kind of push to one direction.
Oh.
And we know where that direction's going.
Yeah, I mean, this right here says that she was baptized Catholic. I actually heard an interview where he says, and my wife's Catholic, so this isn't something like, well, just because she was baptized Catholic as a baby doesn't mean she's still Catholic. Oh, she is. I mean, her husband said it.
Believed it.
Here we see,
that's the rosary.
Somebody posting, it says, heartbreak in Phoenix. Charlie Kirk's widow escorts his body home. It says Erica Friends, that's her maiden name, I don't know how to say it, but held a rosary as she waved. So she's clearly a devout Catholic. I think it's interesting the way she's holding that. Was that you that mentioned that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you spotted how she's holding that between...
You will see,
the finger and the thumb, repping the... So, look, I'm
There's
not going to...
so much... go ahead.
I'm just saying I'm not going to make a whole case out of one hand sign. But when you see it over and over, the symbolism everywhere... I mean, it's the same thing with these movies and stuff, too. I'm not going to build a whole case on, like, Darth Vader, his name is Lord Vader. And so he's like Jesus. No, he wears the chest piece, like the ephod, the high priest. He was born without a father. His name is, they call him Lord. So he's the prophesied chosen one. So if he's the prophesied chosen one who was born without a father, wears the ephod, his army's in perfect white, perfect order, and they call him Lord Vader, which is father, then that's the case you can make. I'm not going to believe something off of one piece of the puzzle. There's got to be a lot, and there's going to be a lot shown here. I just saw this today while putting this together, man. Do you recognize what that is on her neck?
Are those, you're talking about the one on the top, middle?
Yeah.
It's some kind of occult symbolism.
That's the Maltese cross with a crown on top of it. And I looked it up, Maltese cross with a crown on it, and this was a website that actually on the left, I covered it up with her picture there, but on the left there was like all these links to different like Masonic jewelry. And it says yellow gold Maltese cross royal crown pendant necklace. So okay, first she's Catholic. She's repping the 666 hand sign while holding a rosary. She's wearing a Maltese cross, which the definition of the Maltese cross when combined with a royal crown and a pendant is a powerful and explicitly Christian symbol, is what AI is saying, of the York Rite of Freemasonry. If you are awake at all, you'll know that Freemasonry is not Christian. And it says, particularly for the Knights Templar, this emblem represents the triumph of Christian virtue and the promise of eternal life for the faithful. And it says, the combined symbol is a motto in hoc signo vinces. By this sign you shall conquer. Do you know what that is? Think about...
Yes. That takes us back to the By this sign you shall conquer. Doesn't that take us right back to Constantine?
Boom. You got it, bro.
Yes.
So she's rocking a symbol that has to do with Constantine. And it says this phrase,
Wow.
by this sign you shall conquer, which is a translation of the Latin, and it's the Roman Emperor Constantine. So she's Catholic, and she's wearing this Roman Freemason, throwing up the triple sixes, holding the rosary. And I asked, did Roman Emperor Constantine enforce a day of worship? Because that's what's on my radar. I'm looking for how is politics
How are we
and
gonna get to
religion going to unite? How are we going to have a mark of the beast system where you must worship this way or die? And it's going to look like peace and safety. Like, how are we going to get to that? And so I'm thinking, is she like signaling? Is she wearing this boldly on a necklace? And it says, did Roman Emperor Constantine enforce a day of worship? Yes. In 321 AD, Roman Emperor Constantine issued a law making Sunday a day of public rest, which wasn't solely for Christian worship, but also honored the existing pagan tradition, the Day of the Sun. So there was a time when worship was enforced and it merged paganism and Christianity. Even though Christians weren't keeping Sunday, he stopped killing Christians if they would keep Sunday to meet in the middle with the pagans. Mm-hmm. And so this is what you're talking about. The Charlie Kirk effect is mass attendance. Catholic News Agency, mass attendance up at various colleges in wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. So people are telling me, oh, the Catholic Church hates him.
Right. Well, I mean, you would think that based off some of the things he says, but I mean, the ultimate outcome is that it's interfaith. It's a one world religion push. That's what they're using it for.
Yeah, dude, if you're married to a Catholic, how can you
I don't know. I didn't understand that when you showed that to me. I said that's impossible. How can you be a Protestant and married to a devout
a Sabbath keeping Protestant?
Yeah, and then you were saying, or was it Candace or someone that was saying that, how can you be so stupid to continue to believe this way? Just come and just make the switch already. Make the switch. She's a very strong, Catholic proponent, and she had Allie Beth Stuckey on her show with her husband, another very devout Catholic, and she was giving a case for Protestantism, and I was like, man, look at her go. She did a great job too. And Charlie was the only other one that did that. And now hearing about all this other stuff, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So this made me think, because right now in this timing, 2025, they're talking about the golden age and all this stuff. Trump's been saying it. Like, first of all, people that have been watching our channel know that we talk about this all the time, but for first timers, Alice Bailey, an occultist, or Helen Blavatsky, both of them basically were saying that in the year 2025 is going to be the externalization of the hierarchy. You're talking about demons manifesting in our world. We just so happen to see UFOs all over the place on mainstream media news, and the military is saying, yeah, they're real. They're non-human intelligences. We don't know what they are. And Trump saying that we're entering in the golden age, which just happens to be the age of Aquarius, which is exactly what those ladies were talking about. That 2025 was going to be the age of Aquarius, when you're going to have this externalization of the hierarchy, meaning Satan is going to manifest. And
brother, listen, this is a turning point for the USA. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a turning point for the USA.
In what
Predictive
way?
Programming.
Oh, turning point.
Well, I mean,
I got you. Yeah.
That's his organization. His organization is Turning Point USA.
Turning Point.
This is a turning point.
Do you know where Turning Point is based out of?
Everybody is. No.
Phoenix, Arizona. And just keep that in mind, Phoenix. Okay. But she's rocking that Maltese cross that has to do with Constantine. And we're talking about Charlie Kirk and Trump are like buds. And listen to this.
Through your leadership, you embody the values of our Christian faith and love for the gospel. You remind me of the great Roman Emperor, Constantine the Great.
That's a,
This
Can you believe that response?
I mean, why does everyone just know about that? I mean, that's just been Constantine the Great. They all
dude
cheer.
that forced worship and he was killing Christians.
Yeah, exactly. Why is it that everyone seems to know all about their history for Constantine and what he did and why that's so great?
Right.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's see. So I think this is where I should show this video. Let me make sure. Actually, let me see.
I mean, we could go on and on.
Look at this. New York, the Sun.
Ah, yes, that one.
To celebrate the legacy of Charlie Kirk, not to celebrate your relationship with God, to celebrate the legacy of Charlie Kirk, who put a premium on faith, honor the Sabbath. So
Honor what Sabbath? What is the Sabbath?
right.
This
It
is where
depends
we're
on who you
getting
ask.
muddy.
But the thing, I mean, I think it's interesting that it says Sun right there, you know, the New York Sun. But it's talking about
You got to see those things.
yeah, to celebrate the legacy of Charlie Kirk, not anything to do with God.
The sun honor the Sabbath. That to me is subliminal messaging. That's my personal opinion. I've been seeing this kind of stuff all over the place.
For sure. All right. So you understand this stuff. We understand this stuff. I hope people on the chat and stuff know about this, but Revelation 13:15 through 16 is talking about, and he had power to give, let me full screen this. He is talking about, when it says, and he had power, it's talking about the second beast, which we understand to be America. The first beast is Rome, and the second beast is America. That's a huge study in itself, but when you really look into it, the first beast rose out of the waters, and there's everything points to it's Rome. I mean, the purple and scarlet, the 7 heads or 7 mountains, all of it. But as that beast is falling, there's another beast rising in the earth, not in the sea, that represents many peoples. So what superpower nation was rising in the 1700s when Rome was suffering a fatal head wound? There's only one nation. And it says that he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, people look at this stuff, man. I've heard for years. I believed it, even some of this stuff. I used to have a totally different understanding of prophecy. I thought the microchip was the mark of the beast, and the image of the beast could be AI or whatever. And that's what people are thinking. They're thinking the image of the beast is like transhumanism or AI, but a beast is a kingdom. That's what the Bible says. It says the fourth beast is the fourth kingdom. Like a beast is a kingdom. So if the first beast is Rome, and this second beast, which is America, is making an image to the first beast, that just means that it's trying to become just like the first beast. America's becoming Rome. And when you see these pictures up here, on the left is the Vatican, and on the right is Washington, D.C. Even in structure.
Very same structures.
Yeah.
The same structures.
But
It
now
has power to give, and it has authority. And so you got to be very careful because we're seeing it now, happening now.
yeah, and now it's going to speak like a dragon. So America's going to start making laws that are like Rome. And what did Rome do? Enforce worship. I mean, if you don't kiss the Pope's ring, you burn at the stake, right?
Well, completely. I mean, one of the biggest problems that the Vatican, that Rome had, was the combination of church and state. I mean, that's what they were known for, right? That's what was their problem. That was what the problem was. And so we're the image of that as the United States is that we are going to become church and state combined. And all the stuff that we're
Iron and
seeing
clay.
right now, especially with the conservative class, you are seeing that combination. It's like going to be pushing it forward. So
Well, they call it Christian
there's serious-
nationalist. I mean that.
Right.
So Project 2025, Christian nationalism, all that stuff is saying, oh, the 7 mountain mandate. Man, if you guys have not seen the stuff that we've been talking about, like, go through our videos, man. We've done some videos about the 7 mountain mandate, where the new apostolic reformation, they want to control, as Christians, they want to control education, entertainment, government, everything. And they think that's a good thing. And Christians are all on board because they're like, yeah, like,
Well,
Christians
because
should
it
control
protects us
everything.
from the LGBT spirit and all this
Right.
other, these social justice situations and all this stuff coming from the grave. And it's like, yeah, go ahead, protect us from that stuff, protect our families from that. Give us
Yeah.
whatever other alternative there is.
That's right. And
We're losing
so,
our freedoms. Remember 9/11? We're
Yep.
losing our freedoms
For
because we're afraid of for safety. Exactly.
Yep. That's what it's all about. Create chaos so that you will freely give up your rights and everything so that, so you can feel safe. I mean, that's why all this alien stuff and everything, it's like, oh, we need a space force. We need to build weapons pointed towards the heavens so that we can fight Christ when he
Makes
returns.
you wonder. I mean, a real thinking person is thinking, that sounds so stupid. Why would we do that?
Try to fight
But
Christ.
well, try to look out into the world for aliens and things like that. But they're pushing this. They're pushing it, and we're gonna believe it.
And it says that he's going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. That's why people think it's a microchip, because you can't buy or sell without it. Look, the fact that you can't buy or sell is a punishment. It's not that the currency is the mark. It's saying, if you don't worship this way, we're going to cut off your ability to buy and sell. We're also going to throw you in prison 10 days, and we're going to cut your head off. Those things aren't the mark of the beast. Those are the punishments for not worshiping according to the one world religion. Because if you don't believe in coexistence, then you're a hater and you're causing discord in our perfect dystopian world. So you're going to get locked up or worse.
Not just believe, but affirm.
Yeah. And so the right hand is the actions and the forehead is the belief. So there's going to be some people that they totally believe, like, this is it. Like, this is the truth. This is love and tolerance and acceptance, and I believe in it. And then there's going to be people that say, you know what, I don't believe in this system, but I'm not going to risk my family's life or anything, so I'm just going to go along with it. And that's taking it in the hand. You're doing it by works, not by belief. But both ways are wrong. The only way you can not get the mark of the beast is to be sealed with the seal of the living God in your forehead, and that's not literal. It's not a literal seal on your head. It's obedience to God. It's believing and obeying. It's both. So I'm going to show this clip on the this clip was pretty interesting from Charlie Kirk here.
But let me first say, I think we as Protestant evangelicals under-venerate Mary. She was very important. She was a vessel for our Lord and Savior. I think that we as evangelicals and Protestants, we've overcorrected. We don't talk about Mary enough. We don't venerate her enough. Mary was clearly important to early Christians. There's something there. In fact, I believe one of the ways that we fix toxic feminism in America is Mary is the solution. Have more young ladies be pious, be reverent, to be full of faith, slow to anger, slow to words at times. Mary is a phenomenal example, and I think a counter to so much of the toxicity of feminism in the modern era.
Now, he just said venerate Mary. Was that the word usage he did? He said?
Venerate, yes.
Venerate.
He said that multiple times. It's not a good word to use.
Yeah.
It's not a good word. Not nowadays. It's the word is almost solely being used with this idea of, the Catholic worship. And it's not a good word to use.
I want to be honest in the research here, because I was actually putting together a video about how this shooter was 200 yards away, and yet when you watch the video, the sound of the gun happens the moment he gets hit. And I was like, wait a minute, no, sound travels slower than light, or than things that are, you know, you can watch somebody dribbling a basketball from afar away and you'll see the ball hit and then you'll hear it later. And I'm watching all these videos and I'm putting a stopwatch on. I'm looking up videos of dudes shooting targets from 200 yards away, and it's like, pow, ding. I mean, it was like a minute or a second and a half before you actually heard the thing. And I was like, whoa, this is like, this don't line up. And I was putting it together and I was going to expose this thing. But then I watched a video where the camera was actually on the target instead of next to the shooter. And you heard the sound right when it hit the target, because the bullet is traveling and the sound is traveling, and they're making it about the same time. And so I had to scrap the whole thing. I really thought, I was like, dude, I'm going to tear this thing up. Now, with this Mary thing, I saw the whole clip, and right before he starts saying that, he's actually saying, I have a few problems with Catholicism. And that's when he says, my wife is a Catholic, but I have a few problems with Catholicism, and the main problem is Marianism, or whatever, however you want to say it. So he's saying a problem he has with Catholicism is that they venerate Mary, but then he's literally saying we should venerate her. So it is kind of strange.
Well, Mary is the answer. He goes way too far when he says that. Jesus is the answer.
Amen to that.
Jesus is the answer, not Mary. Yeah. Although I do agree that, we can use the Bible characters if they have a honorable character to emulate. That's fine. We're not against that. All the Bible characters have the same ability. You should be able to do that for any of them.
Yeah, I don't really.
Let's not go that far. Yeah,
I don't really know that there's much talk about Mary in the Bible, though. I don't know her character. Not really.
She was chosen by the Lord because she was, upright and humble, and some of the words that he used are true. But let's not jump to Mary as the answer.
Yeah, but this clip. This one, she just uploaded this. This was today. No, 2 days ago. Okay. On the 15th. Well, it just changed to the 17th. So basically a day ago, she posted this. And listen to what she says about her friend, Charlie Kirk.
I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspective.
Oh.
Honeybook makes it look like I'm a team of 10 when it's really just me in the background. I get to live my dream.
And I can
back it up.
Was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary.
Honeybook makes it look like I'm a team of 10 when it's really just me in the background. I get to live my dream.
Charlie was going to mass.
All right.
Was definitely on the Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to mass. Wow. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. And he says, ha ha. He was speaking about Mary. And typically when those steps start taking place, you stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian.
She just said that he was talking about Mary. Like, you're going to mass, you're praying the rosary, you're talking about Mary.
The rosary.
Like, she's like, bro, you're a Catholic. Like, just go ahead and make the change.
It's like, you might as well just make the last step. Yeah. Jump ship.
And I shared that in a chat that I'm in, a group that I'm in, and people are saying, look, man, if I died, people could say anything about me. But I'm like, she's a personal friend of his. She's talking about a conversation they really had. She's got millions of subscribers.
They're
like,
on the same level.
I don't think she's just going to come out here and tell a bold-faced lie. Be like, I remember this situation that never happened, but I'm going to pretend it did. I don't think I think this is a reality. So that's interesting. So who is Charlie Kirk? I don't even know, man. I don't know who he is. But I know that there were some interesting things. And I'm going to go ahead and say when any kind of these events happen, whether it's a school shooting, whether it's 9/11, you know, this is what I believe. And I believe that these people who do this stuff leave tags. You know, as a Christian, if I'm a Christian performer or a YouTuber, or I'm going to thank God. I'm going to say, Lord, give me the right words to say. Like, I'm going to incorporate Christian things into the content I make or graphics I make or whatever. They do it too. Like, whether knowingly or unknowingly, when Satan blesses them, they're going to give props to their master. One, either they're doing it because they really are thankful, like they're like, my God blessed me, I'm rich, I'm famous, or they have to do it to continue to get those quote unquote blessings. Like Satan's like, I'm not going to give you these things unless you give me a sacrifice, or unless you flash this hand sign everywhere. Unless you push my agenda, you're not going to be blessed anymore. So I also believe that Satan is a counterfeiter of everything God. And so God what does it say? It says he never does anything without telling his prophets first, right? Mm-hmm. And so Satan's like, okay, I'm not going to do anything unless I tell my prophets, and they're going to tell the world. And I heard a quote, it's actually by Albert Pike, something similar to this, paraphrasing. But he said, I got it. You have it? Something about symbols?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Oh, Albert Pike. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't have the one on the symbols. I have the one, whenever the people need a hero, we shall supply him.
Ooh,
that one's a scary one too, if you think of that one. That's a deep one, because it actually goes along with what we're talking about. But I thought you were referring to that one.
No, there's another one where he says symbols are to hide the truth from those who don't understand, and to
something like
give the truth to those who have eyes to see. So if you're a Mason and everybody's watching a movie and there's some weird hand sign, nobody's going to know what that is. They're going to be like, oh, it's Spider-Man. That's how he does his web or whatever. And the Mason's like, oh, I know that hand sign, or whatever, you know? Or a musician flashes a sign in a photo shoot or whatever, right? So I'm always looking.
It's like tipping your hat.
Yes, exactly. So I'm always looking for things.
Us.
Exactly. Because they're put in our faces. So when I heard that the shooter was caught 33 hours later, come on, not 30 hours, not 34 hours, but 33 hours later. That's how long the manhunt took. People are losing their jobs. We can talk about this too. People are losing their jobs for being insensitive about what happened. When has that ever happened? Like,
it sounds like it sounds like the same exact verbiage, the same language that we hear from the other extreme, and now it's coming on this side. We're hearing cancel culture.
Right.
It's coming on our side now.
Like, you better say the right pronoun or you're going to be in trouble.
Exactly. To me, that is hypocritical.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to look at it from a fair and unbiased perspective. When you look at that and they say, all right, now everyone's going to lose their jobs. I'm not saying, no one is saying that we need to be talking negatively. I mean, that is terrible to do.
Yeah.
If someone dies, don't talk negatively about that. Yeah, you can, a mom and pop shop, say, hey, I don't like that. That's not right. Right. But I mean, you start looking at it where it's becoming this nationwide or worldwide thing where people are losing their jobs. Women are coming out and saying, did you see that video where she was like, I'm afraid, telling her friends, be careful. If you say something, they're coming against us now. We don't have freedom of speech. We don't have the freedoms that we had before this took place.
Oh, that's
and so
crazy.
freedom of speech is literally dying, except hypocritically, because now on the conservative side, it was always the liberals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always liberal.
Yeah.
But CNN, all that kind of stuff, those channels. But now you're having the same exact language and the same exact stuff happening on the right. It's not right.
That's crazy.
It's hypocritical.
You just reminded me of, well, I can't find it, but the liberals, I remember they were walking out holding a white banner that said free speech, and they were setting it on fire. They're the ones that have hate speech. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not allowed to say certain things if it's hateful, but it doesn't work for white heterosexual Christian male.
No.
You can bash my God, you can make fun of my beliefs, mock me all day long, and I can't say anything because I'm privileged. That's my privilege, is that I don't have any protection. But if I call a male, I can be penalized somehow. So here, I just thought it was interesting. 33 people lost their jobs. So 33 hours to catch the assassin. 33 people lost their jobs. Like I said, I'm not going to make a case out of one thing. But when you see a pattern, why do people not notice patterns and think that that's not normal? This might be a stretch for some people, but these people are obsessed with numerology. Nothing is by accident. Somebody laid those hats out just like this. Each hat says 47. 4 plus 7 is 11. There just happens to be 3 of them. And if you add 11 3 times, you get 33. Miss Erica Kirk came out and gave a speech. And for the first 10, 15 minutes... Yeah, for the first 10, 15 minutes, it just had this picture on the screen. It just had begin soon. And then some guy comes out and he's testing the audio and stuff. And then she finally comes out and it just happens that it ends at 33 minutes. I mean, come on, is all of this a coincidence? I'm going to play this video clip. It might be like 3 minutes long, but I want you to see that this is a pattern that happens all the time. And if you just ignore it, then you're really just being willfully ignorant. So check this out.
And I say, as of today, at this hour, we have 33 confirmed positive tests for the virus.
Yesterday we had 22 cases. Today we have 33 cases, so it has gone up by 11. That brings, those are 11 new cases. 22 goes to 33.
As we sort through this here in Arkansas, today we have 33 confirmed positive cases in Arkansas.
As of today, we have 33 confirmed cases with Boston residents. We expect those numbers to climb.
As of this afternoon, we have 33 Pennsylvanians who have tested positive for COVID-19.
So as of this morning, there were 33 confirmed cases in North Carolina.
Evening to you. Lots to get to tonight. I'm Leon Hendricks. We want to start with new information into our newsroom. Within the past couple of hours, there are now 33 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Michigan.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Richard Gearhart. Karina Corral has the night off. More cases of the coronavirus were confirmed today in San Luis Obispo County, bringing the total number now to 33.
Right now, Georgia is reporting a total of 99 cases in 19 counties. That is 33 new cases from just yesterday.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Swenson. More cases and more events affected. Here is the latest coronavirus news. There are now 33 cases in Louisiana.
As expected. The number of cases of COVID-19 jumps. A total of 33 people in our state have been tested and are confirmed to have the coronavirus.
Day 4 of the shelter-at-home order brought 6 new confirmed cases of the coronavirus to San Luis Obispo County, bringing the total number to 33.
All troopers will be professional, polite,
and will treat everyone with dignity and respect.
These latest steps as the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Rhode Island jumps by 33 overnight.
With 4 more deaths reported overnight, the death toll now stands at least 33.
The Ministry of Public Health has confirmed a batch of 33 new COVID-19 patients. Thailand now has an accumulated number of cases.
తెలంగాణలో కరోనా వైరస్ బారిన పడిన వారి సంఖ్య 33కు పెరిగింది. నిన్న కొత్తగా 6 కేసులు నమోదయ్యాయి. ఇందులో ఒకరు కరీంనగర్కు చెందిన 23 ఏళ్ల విద్యార్థి.
The Ministry of Public Health has reported that the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Thailand remains at 33.
10 new confirmed cases have been reported in Malaysia, bringing the total now to 93. Health Director General Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said they were first and second generation close contacts of case 33.
33. It's all just coincidence, though.
There's no way that can be a coincidence. Listen, I mean, come on. Every state, it's all 33 now.
Other countries.
I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, and then that.
I heard in those same clips, I heard 11, 6, 22, 33. It's like always those numbers. Even in this event. How old was the assassin? 22. I mean, it's just... It goes on and on, man. I don't know if we should jump that one yet. Let me see. I was trying to find that thing there.
The assassination, we haven't really talked a lot about that. Do you know his name? The boy, the man. Do you know do we have much about that? The transgender and who actually did it? Because it does not look. When you look at it, it just does not, nothing adds up, actually. And it's difficult to believe that, they plant these guys.
I haven't looked at it yet. I have his name up here somewhere. Tyler something, I think. So, are you seeing the screen? Yeah. So, this is where things are headed, though, now, right? There's like... It was the left was real crazy.
Yeah, this is important.
Well, what did you see about this? Because you actually found this article.
Well, the whole point of this is that they're dividing the nation. I mean, that's the whole point, is that Trump is using this. He's basically exploiting this man's death.
Yeah.
He's exploiting, or fill in the blank, whatever you believe.
Right.
But the point is that on the outside, he is exploiting this man's death.
Right.
And the whole goal is to make Democrats look evil, make the liberal class look bad, make all those that are connected with them, the DEI, the LGBT, and all this kind of stuff, come out to seem more and more evil, so that it pushes against the conservative class, so that the conservative class says, This is too much. Something's got to give. Do you have any of those articles where they're talking about how we need to strap up and we need to fight back and we need to, this is a civil war, essentially, is what we're looking at right now. And that one's important too. I really think that you should play that because it gives really, really clear perspective to how the liberal side is seeing it.
Yeah.
And how afraid they are. Freedom of speech is under attack. They see the hypocrisy. They're afraid. All that kind of stuff. You need to show that so we can see that this is a right and a left Hegelian dialectic, divide and conquer tactic.
Boom.
Whatever you're doing right now, stop and watch this video. The right has begun a doxing campaign for anybody they believe does not have enough sympathy in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. Despite championing free speech and the ability to say whatever you want, including slurs and hate speech, they've begun to dox people who say, I don't necessarily care that he has died. This is the website, and they've begun to write people's names, addresses if they can find it, and their employers' names, as well as specifically what they have said. If you are somebody who posts online right now, I would encourage you to be very careful, because throughout American history, we've seen that people on the left are routinely the people who are punished rather than those on the right. And even now, our free speech is under attack about what we can or cannot say at universities or school. Make sure you aren't on there, and if you see somebody you know, inform them. If you feel like you're in danger, you can get on an anti-SWAT registry and also take additional precautions while walking around outside. The thing that they want here is vengeance, so they're really going after people's jobs. So be very, very careful, and if you do speak online, honestly, try not to show your face or any identifying information. And please be careful, because this is absolutely not right.
Okay, so
She's dead
there is
on,
something
man.
I want to say to that. She is. But listen how she said that it is the left that has been historically persecuted or whatnot. But what she doesn't understand, and what she's actually wrong about, is that she's only looking at it from one side. She's actually on that side looking out and saying, look how crazy these people are. And you're going to see in this next clip, that guy does the same thing. He's going to say, you guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. You guys are insane. Hypocritically speaking, this guy right here.
I'm going to lose my mind if conservatives keep pretending like mocking Charlie Kirk's death makes you some disgusting, horrible human being, especially when they reacted to the death of nearly every black person in the last 15 years like this. Like, when Trayvon Martin died, they held meet and greets with George Zimmerman and asked him to sign bags of Skittles and cans of iced tea, and the gun that he used to kill Trayvon Martin was auctioned off for like $250,000. Like, the hypocrisy is insane. Every single time a black person has been the victim of police brutality, you guys have dug up their entire history to try to prove that they somehow deserved it. But when we use Charlie Kirk's own words, you say that we're heartless and disgusting people for it. And even though I know that the entire conservative platform is just built on hypocrisy, the amount of gaslighting that I'm seeing is actually crazy. Like people saying, well, we never celebrated anyone's death. We never mocked anyone's death. We felt bad that those things happened. Like, we saw your reaction in real time. Your digital footprint is out there. Like, the same people who were just mocking Alligator Alcatraz, saying that immigrants were going to be the perfect meal and taking their families there for photo shoots, are trying to claim they have a moral high ground because we won't mourn the person who enabled that culture in the first place. You guys are delusional. You've genuinely lost it.
Absolutely, 100%
There is
right,
something that I want to say on that, because this guy is bitter, he's angry, and he is also missing the point, because he is coming at it in the same angle from the left, and he is mad and he wants justice, and he's going to fight for it, and he's going to push against the right. Anytime you have the left pushing against the right, anytime you have the right pushing against the left, you've already lost. There's no way that you can win with that kind of civil war. It's the civil war mentality spirit that they are pushing on both sides, and he sees it clearly, and then they see it clearly, and they're both being pointed to each other as the problem. Trump is doing it with the Democrats. He's saying it's all the Democrats. I have a lot of friends that are on that side, and they say it's those Democrats. Those Democrats are evil snakes. But they're missing the point. They're our brothers and sisters, and yeah, they believe in things that we don't agree with. They're less conservative, abortion and whatnot, other things like that. But another thing that I wanted to mention was that this guy, and I don't know if you have any information on the Ukrainian girl that was, if you put anything light on there, but these two situations with Charlie Kirk and her death, they really go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because both of those are basically, like, one is in a large way pushing against the LGBT and the wickedness of this world with Charlie, and really DEI and all these kinds of things, these social constructs. But this other girl that was attacked, you see all these, black people around her, and it's almost like, and I really do believe that they are pushing this racism on both sides. You are pushing blacks to be afraid of whites, whites to be afraid of blacks. It's like they're our brothers, completely our brothers and sisters, but they're pushing this divide. They're pushing LGBT versus Christians. They're pushing black versus white, women versus men, anything that they can do to create a divide. And that's what this is all about. This whole entire thing with Charlie is being exploited to be a civil war. And pay attention, because of all the things that we've mentioned, start looking at the articles, start watching the videos. It's civil war. Don't be caught on either side, right or left, or you're going to be part of the problem. You're going to get sucked in. You're going to get emotional. Like those guys, the girl and the guy that we just showed, super emotional, brokenhearted, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because they're sucked in. So anyway.
Everybody wants to be a part of something, and that's why people join. That's why when people have broken families, they join gangs, they join the Freemasons, whatever, get involved in all kinds of stuff. We all want to be a part of something. So when BLM happened, people are like, yeah, Black lives do matter.
Yeah,
I'm going to
this
stand
is
with
a
that.
cause that I wanna...
But if you try to say all lives matter, you're a racist. So, and we saw, it's so crazy how it depends on who's president. Like when we had a Democrat, it was all these riots and everything happening, and it was all about liberal stuff. Now we got a Republican, and it's an uprising is going to happen for conservative values, which really shouldn't even happen. We shouldn't be doing these kind of uprisings for this reason.
Definitely outside of Christ's teachings.
Since he brought up some of these other things, I thought this was interesting. George Floyd, there was a lot of weird stuff with that too. Like I said, I question everything. All these events that happen, I look for all those symbols and everything.
Mainstream,
yeah.
Anything that's pushed down your throat, I don't believe it. That's my conviction. I do not believe any of it. I think it's a programming ploy.
Right. You see his birthday, October 14. I don't know what the significance is, but look, Charlie Kirk, October 14. They were both martyrs that are going to cause an uprising, right?
Wow.
What are the chances?
When you start seeing interesting
patterns, man.
Wait. How many years apart?
93, 73, so 20 years apart. Like to the day, 20 years exactly.
Yeah, to the day, exactly 20 years apart.
And both these men were like that, murdered in a way that caused some kind of uprising, right?
Some big, but pay attention, because both sides are the polar opposite of each other.
Yeah.
Same birthday, 20 years apart exactly, two of the exact what you want the right and what you want the left to have.
Yeah.
And it's if you can see through this, then you'll be better off. But
yeah,
it's so clear.
This I thought was crazy because we understand, me and you and a lot of other people understand that there is like two great errors that are going to really unite this one world religion, and it's Sunday sacredness and spiritualism. And so Sunday sacredness, it already happened when Constantine enforced Sunday worship. And if you were caught Judaizing, which meant keeping God's fourth commandment, you were persecuted. And we live in a day where basically all denominations keep the venerable day of the sun. No matter what denomination you are, you're still bowing to Rome, because they were the ones that openly admit we changed the day and you guys keep it. So if that's news to anybody here, the fourth commandment is clear, and we're obeying man rather than God. And what did Jesus say? He said, you make the commandments void by your tradition. He said, oh, this one's really powerful. He said, you worship me in vain. Because people say, oh, it's all just about, I believe Jesus. I believe, so I'm good to go. You worship me in vain by keeping the commandments of men. I'm like, wow, you can actually worship Jesus in vain. There's going to be many people that say, Lord, Lord. They're calling him Lord. Didn't we do all these great things in your name, cast out devils and miracles and all this stuff? He said, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. You didn't listen to me. You didn't obey me. Why call me Lord and do not the things that I tell you? How can you call him Lord and Master and simply not obey his perfect laws of liberty? But this is a church I think this is in Arizona. Yeah, in Phoenix, Arizona. And it says Dream City Church features an AI Charlie Kirk and compares him to Jesus, preaching about spiritual war. And after Kirk's death, the Phoenix Church used AI to recreate Kirk's voice at Sunday service. I'm not going to play it. It was a long video anyway. It was a whole church sermon, but there was a little piece in there, and he's explaining how he said, I debated whether to share this because, it's AI and all that stuff. I I think it's a lot more than just AI being the issue here. But some girl, a little girl, asked AI, what would Charlie Kirk say to me if he were alive today? And they played it at church, and people are listening intently and applauding real bad. And this is what he was saying. He said, let me full screen this. He was saying, first, I want you to know that I'm fine. Wait a minute. I thought you were dead. I want you to know I'm fine, said a disembodied voice from the speakers inside Dream City Church in Phoenix on Sunday. To me, I'm picking up all kinds of trigger words.
Wow.
Phoenix.
Dream City.
Sunday.
Phoenix,
Yeah, Dream
Sunday.
City. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then it goes on and says, my soul is secure in Christ, the voice said. Death is not the end. It's a promotion. As the congregation of roughly 4,000 sat silently enthralled. 4,000 people are practicing divination because, look, I use AI. I'm not against the tool. I'm against using a tool the wrong way, just like I'm against using TV the wrong way or cell phones.
In the wrong way.
Yeah. There's a right way and a wrong way to use music, movies, everything. I'm never going to get on AI and say, what would this dead person say? You're openly inviting Satan to deceive you, to pretend to be familiar spirit. You know, there's no power in a Ouija board, but as soon as you pull it out, you're giving a signal. I'm wanting to communicate with the other side, which are demons in disguise. And so you're giving permission at that point. When you get on AI and you say,
man,
if you're a demon, talk to me, or if you say, hey, I want to talk to somebody dead, you're practicing necromancy. Have you seen this? This is on...
No, what is this?
This is on Erica's Instagram. This is her official Instagram. I didn't play the whole thing. It's a short video, but it's just saying something about like, what if childhood lasted forever or something like that. Anyway, nobody knows. I've looked through the comments. Nobody knows what this date is she's promoting, but look when this was uploaded. September 2nd. September 2nd. Now watch what it says. Okay. So it's this weird thing. It's just like music's playing and it's saying like, what if childhood lasted forever, blah, blah. And it's like, walk with us or something. And then it says, I am, which I think is interesting because, Beyonce and Mariah Carey and all these people, they always do this like, I am Beyonce and all this stuff. It says, I am 916. And it's saying, walk the countdown with us, 9/16/2025. Now, this was posted September 2nd, days before the supposed assassination. What is she even promoting here? They're all dressed in what? They're all dressed in black. Even the kids are wearing black t-shirts. Like, what are you promoting here? And it just so happens that Tuesday, September 16, 2025 is the date of the first court appearance for the suspect in Charlie Kirk's murder. Tyler Robinson, 22, again, was arrested. So they're saying there's a push for him to be executed. Like, we want capital punishment, bring back the death penalty. The death penalty is kind of like on the fence right now. Like, not a lot of people do it. But right now, this has got so many people up in arms that they're like, death penalty. Right. I don't care if you got to change the law.
Yeah.
We want the guillotines.
Wow.
The Bible says that there's going to be a religion pushed by law. And if you don't do it, it's punishable by death. How are you going to get to that point unless something brings us there, right? And dude, she posted that September 2nd. And I don't know what it was supposed to be promoting because that's today. And
that's today.
Yeah. And I don't know. I looked and saw what was his final verdict or whatever. I couldn't see anything, but
probably aren't there yet.
But this is where we're at now.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's more of the separation.
Yeah.
Do we fix this country? How do we come back together?
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. The radicals on the left are the problem, and they're vicious and they're horrible.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today.
I honestly can't believe they released an AI video of Trump. That was AI. His fingers disappear and everything. There's glitches. His fingers disappear and everything.
Listen, the whole, that's the whole outcome. That's the whole point. He wants us to hate. Look, radical left is there's a lot of bad there. Radical right, there's bad there. That's beside the point. We're not getting distracted here on these points. Is that they're trying to make a divide and they're trying to get us to fight each other. It's a civil war. These are things that need to be deeply understood. Trump doesn't speak on my behalf. He doesn't represent me. He's the president. We respect him to the degree that he is a president. But beyond that, he is dangerous. I would agree with the radical left, actually, in some regard. And some of the things he says are actually very dangerous.
Yeah.
And so...
To act like violence is only bad when this group of people do it, but when we do it, it's for a different motive, so...
Exactly. And listen to how he said, the radical right is only radical because we don't want to see people hurt. Deal with the left. That's the only problem with us. We're perfect. Other than that, we're great. And let me just talk about Trump for one more second. And I want you to listen to this because this is going to kind of really, I think, add some context to what's going on right now. But back in 2018, not too long ago, Trump said, "It will be hard to unify the country." Listen to this. "I would love to be able to bring back our country into a great form of unity," Trump said. "But without a major event,"
oh wow,
"without a major event where people pull together, brother, we are seeing it now."
Yep.
Listen to that. Listen to the language. "Without a major event that would pull people together."
You mean like all the churches surging now? And
that's hard to do. Yes.
Wow, dude.
But I would like to do it without that major event. Because usually that major event is not a good thing. So he said that it will be hard to unify the country without a major event. That is the scariest thing I could hear. And now you're saying on the right, Charlie Kirk's death feels like, where am I? The far right commentators are now calling for war. Right-wing figures are calling for retribution, and they're calling for a civil war. So yeah, we have that perfect way out, if you will, that opportunity to now unite the country.
Never let
the Democrats are gonna say that.
Yeah, they said never let a good crisis go to waste.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was up with this thing?
Yeah, so this is the other side. This is exactly the opposite. It's two extremes. As the Trump administration attacks trans people, some queer folks are armed and ready to bash back. Are you triggered? It's quite literally what's happening is it is a furthering of the divide. They are giving a message, and I think a lot of people are actually under legit spells where when you hear stuff like this, "Are you triggered?" They're like, boom, yeah, I am triggered. What? And they're like, but listen to the language, because when you say, "Are you triggered?" you're usually saying, "Are you like offended?" Like,
right.
So it's like, yeah, I am offended. Triggered, right? So it's this double language, but what it's really doing is that it's teaching people, it's casting a spell upon people to become the exact opposite of what we are now seeing on the right. So the left are becoming triggered, the right are becoming triggered, and it's going to end in crazy bloodshed and a crazy civil war. And I think a lot of our liberal brothers and sisters could very well be destroyed.
Yeah.
Because of this.
I want to see if I can find this real quick. What you're saying, I had wanted to discuss this, and I'm glad you reminded me because I almost forgot. But let's see, this is it. Let me switch over. Okay, so Revelation 18:23, and the light of a candle shall no more at all, shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. That's our time right now. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Now, we often talk about how this is the Greek pharmakia. We get the word pharmacy and all that stuff. It's true. Anything that medicates the mind, anything that puts you under a spell is what's happening here. Were all nations deceived. That's a good point to notice. All nations deceived, because right now, we're going to show video of it. Every nation is like, I didn't even know they knew who Charlie Kirk was, but all the nations are like rallying in the streets. By thy sorceries. What is sorcery? Well, what do they call it? Movie magic? Hollywood, which is the wood of the witch's wand that casts its spell, broadcast it. Yeah, dude, we're talking about magic kingdom, all this stuff that comes from the tell lie vision. People want to say these things, but then they still fall for the trap because of their emotions. They say, I don't believe anything that comes out of the TV. And now with this situation, they're like, no, not him. This is, now you're like, you crossed the line.
Now this is, you crossed the line. This is.
Yep. Dude, this, I couldn't believe it when you showed me this, man. This is crazy. Elon, he's like Trump's right-hand man. I mean, I heard they're like on outs or whatever, but all of it's fake, man. It's all a scripted soap opera. It's like it's like wrestling. Show. Yeah. Listen what he says to somebody in the UK.
And you see how much violence there's on the left, with our friend Charlie Kirk getting murdered in cold blood this week, and people on the left celebrating it openly. The left is the party of murder and celebrating murder. I mean, let that sink in for a minute. That's who we're dealing with here. That is who we're dealing with. Violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die. And that's the truth.
When you have...
Okay, so what?
When you have big name people. Yeah.
Yes, what he's doing is he's casting a spell on the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah, because there's people that were probably there.
Fight back, or you die.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't want to die.
Right.
I better fight back against the blood-stained left.
Yeah.
You have to understand the psychology behind this stuff.
Yeah, there's probably people that were there simply just because they're like, you know what, I want to hold up a picture of Charlie and remember him or something. And then the richest man on the world, the richest man on earth, gets on a camera and says, you guys need to fight or you're going to die. This is like like Hunger Games or something, right? Like a super villain.
You can't make this stuff up. What we're seeing right now is a scripted play. It is an act. Nothing is real.
Yep. Sorcery.
I'm sorry, but
Hollywood.
it's not real.
Movie magic.
They're casting spells. It's the power of suggestion.
Yeah.
To spell, to say, to enunciate. Grimoire, grammar. It's all it is speaking.
Yeah.
And suggesting things and saying things that will cause you to be afraid and listen and obey.
Man. So here they are. All over the world. South Korea. There's no sound on here. It was just music. For some reason the sound didn't come through. But England.
The reason why it's such a big deal is because there are people in secret societies all around the world that are pushing this.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that we are not saying be insensitive. We're not saying do not care about death. That's sad stuff for sure,
Yeah.
100%. But this is bigger because what we are seeing is a divide. And if we fall for this split, there's going to be a civil war that's going to happen because of this situation with this assassination or whatever you want to call it. We're looking at a civil war.
Yeah, you took the words right out of the next slide's mouth right here. Civil war mentions surge online after Kirk assassination. Like, that's New York Times. Like, they're saying the phrase civil war on social media and stuff is surging right now because of the death of one person. Like, I can't think of any other person that... Was there a civil war when Jesus died? I mean, come on. Jesus was definitely...
He taught his disciples not to fight.
Yeah. But I mean, he changed the world. People are still having their lives changed and transformed by him, and yet there wasn't a civil war breakout. This is, like you're saying, this is a spell. This is using the media, the propaganda to incite violence, to create the divide. And like you said, it's on everything: race, gender, politics, religion.
100%. All these things.
And so why do people, this is what trips me out is before this happened, I heard a lot of sound-minded people who said, oh yeah, we're against the Christian nationalist movement. You should not combine church and state together. It's going to lead into the one world religion. It's going to end up in persecution, all this stuff. Like, they understood it completely, but the person who's like the Christian nationalist icon, according to this article, for some reason we trusted him. For some reason he's involved in politics. He's involved in Christian nationalists. He's got the platform of the mainstream media. And for some reason, we just let our emotions take over, and didn't even question if he's somehow an insider, somehow being used as a tool or a puppet. What did we think? How do we think that Satan is going to win the Christian conservatives? Unless there is somebody. That's how the Jesuits work, man. They infiltrate churches, and you don't even realize that the whole church evolves in a matter of years.
And they come out of nowhere too.
Yeah. So, speaking of Jesuits, this, like I said, if it was one time, one little hand sign or whatever, I'm not gonna... Mainly, I hate when people will take a screenshot of somebody talking and gesturing, and then it's like, oh, look at him, he did that okay sign, he's a Illuminati. No. When people talk,
I've done that.
Yeah, when people talk, they gesture. But when you take a photo op, and it's like, oh, you're gonna take a picture? Here, let me put my finger and my thumb together and extend my 3 fingers. Hold on, let me make this diamond shape with my hand, this compass. It's not an accident.
Yeah.
And
pull up the hand signs, and you can show them that it's what you're saying is absolutely 100% repeatable all around the world.
Yeah.
And there's different ones. There's the 666, the AOK sign. There's the one that he's doing in the middle. I mean, you see all kinds of politicians do that one. You see Trump do it. You see everyone they all seem to do the same types of signs, and after a while you start getting uncomfortable and wondering, why is it then that they all stand in front of people or places and do the same symbols?
Yeah.
You see it in popes, you see it with popes, you see it with leaders, you see it with pastors.
Here's some of them. There's that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the diamonds over the eye and all that stuff.
This is real. Like, people really do this. The occult they're obsessed with this stuff.
Numerology, symbols, pentagrams. Every major corporate logo is a sun, an eyeball, a pyramid, some false god like Starbucks chick. I mean, they are giving allegiance to the Caduceus. Like, these people are giving allegiance to who made them rich and famous. And then this was a video that was released. There are many strange things about this. People are saying this looks like a mannequin that never showed his face. Nobody's even mentioning that his button is undone. I don't know why that is. And who is recording her with their camera all up, like literally right by her ear, recording her grieving over the death of her husband? Who's doing that?
That's why I'm saying that the whole thing looks scripted. I mean, it sounds scripted. They are giving you footage. They're constantly giving you footage. Do you remember, I don't know if you were younger and you would watch like the sitcoms or whatever, and they would come on every week and you'd be like talking with your friends and stuff like that. It's like that. It's like that for news. People are like, did you hear the latest scoop, the latest this, the latest that? Yeah, I heard he did that and she did that. And it's like, what? I didn't even know that. So it's just a bunch of, it's
soap
difficult.
opera.
It's difficult to believe.
And this is the thing too. It's like, we're building a case. It's not just because the wife is a Catholic and had a rosary. Like, she was wearing the Maltese cross. She's wearing a ring that has a letter on it that's not any other letter but a G, of all things. I'm just looking.
Stands for generative principle, right?
Well, the Grand Architect, the Freemason, it stands for many different things. Grand Architect. Some people say God and all this stuff. But it's like we've been saying, we're not on here trying to be insensitive or anything, but we're seeing some strange things, some strange patterns that have been happening with all these events. We can't turn a blind eye, or else we're just literally like burying our head in the sand and waiting to be taken over. I don't. Yeah.
We're seeing a very, very dangerous move for civil war, and we want to make sure that we can make others understand that.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, he chose that number 23 because it's all these numbers, 32, 23. Things are inverted, flipped around, upside down, 666
flavors.
Yeah, 66, 99, all that stuff. Why she just happen to be wearing that number, showing that on her Instagram. And her maiden name was that Franz or whatever, and she went to Regis University. She was on the basketball team there. And what do you know about Regis University? I didn't know anything about it, but check it out. Regis University, Jesuit Catholic University.
That's not good.
Wait a minute.
Good. I did not know that.
Is this all just a coincidence? She's a baptized Catholic who's wearing a Maltese cross, who's wearing a G on her finger, who's went to a Jesuit Catholic University. Oh my goodness, it just keeps going.
I did not know that.
Then she gives the speech that's 33 minutes long, and in here she's saying, "You have no idea what you have just unleashed across this entire country and this world." Yeah, inciting a civil war.
Exactly.
You're gonna put
and someone somewhere is gonna say, "Hey, that's me. She's speaking to me."
Yep. You're going to put the widow of the man who just died and she's saying
angry. Look at her face. It's I get it. She's if you're digging into this and you're seeing, she's mad, she's upset because she's upset with the left. I get it. If that's the way you see it, no disrespect there, but I mean, if you look at it from another angle, this is a woman who looks angry, and now you have all these sympathizers.
Yep.
And now these sympathizers are saying, that's the last straw.
Right.
I am through with messing around with these evil Democrats.
Yeah.
This is
this is a script she's reading. It's all full of these trigger words and spells, and it's like, you have no idea what you just unleashed across the country, in this world. You have no idea. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. She's ready. She is queuing up people.
This is the power of suggestion. This is how spells work. She's giving information that people are going to grab a hold of.
What if we didn't know about this whole situation and we were told, hey, there's a Jesuit with a G ring, a Maltese cross, and he's behind a podium on TV with an angry face telling everyone that this is a battle cry and you have no idea what you just unleashed. Like, that sounds like a villain in a movie.
Yeah, it does.
But now replace it with a beautiful widow of a man that everybody admired. And now, oh no, I can't see it that way because my emotions are so wrapped up that I'm blind. And I'm under the spell. I'm under the strong delusion.
And brother, I'm on the same page because for me as well, I followed Kirk. I followed a lot of his stuff. And just for the record, you know, I wanted to hear, how did he respond to the abortion argument? How did he respond to the LGBTs, to the DEI, and all this kind of stuff? You want to know that kind of stuff. And you're curious, you know, maybe I can copy that, or maybe I can learn something from that. So after a while, you get emotionally connected to these characters.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, that emotional connection will tear you. When they die, it'll tear you up. It'll take you to a place that you didn't intend for it to go.
Well, what is deception?
And that's what's happening all over the world.
Deception is a lot of truth, a little bit of error. It's that eyedropper of poison in that nice ice cold glass of lemonade. You're not going to drink the bottle of bleach, but you'll drink the cyanide laced lemonade because it looks so good. And so, yeah, there's going to be a lot of truth out there. Ravi Zacharias spoke a lot of truth, but he was a hypocrite doing sexual things with women. I used to love Alex Jones when I first woke up in 2012 because he was speaking the truth and he was reading declassified documents and telling people, wake up, this stuff's like, it's exposed, it's declassified, you can read it yourself. And yet now I know that he's a double agent. I don't trust him either. And so that's a person that I would say I was emotionally attached to maybe for a time. He was like my dude. I couldn't wait to watch the next Alex Jones video.
Right. Yes.
Because he was speaking the truth. And he's still speaking truthful things, but I don't trust him.
Right. We need to be very careful who we trust. We really, really do. Who we need to trust, what we need to trust is the Bible, and that's just pretty much it. Yeah. And if someone does not speak according to the Word,
that's right,
then it's because there's no truth in them.
No light in them. So to continue on with what she's saying here, because, dude, she's setting it up, and it's so encrypted with things. So first, she said, you have no idea what you unleash across this world. This is the cries of a widow echo around the world like a battle cry. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. So,
okay. Stop there for 1 second.
Yeah.
It has been said about Charlie that he is the spark and that she is the fire.
Oh, I never heard that.
And yes, he is the spark and she is the fire. So now what we have going on is basically she's taking that torch and she's moving forward to the next stage of whatever it is that they're doing.
Whoa, I want to find that because it helps me. Let's see, Charlie and Erica spark and fire, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Charlie was the spark. Here it is.
Pull that up.
Charlie was the spark. Erica is the fire. Oh my goodness, dude! This is like you just added another layer that I didn't even know existed. and people are actually putting it in here. Let's see, what are they saying here? You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. Okay, this is so deep now. This is so deep now. Check this out because
deep. This is actually what we're talking about right now with all of this fire and the spark. And what is going on with her? This is big. Yes. Big. You do not understand how powerful her voice is right now in the world. She might be, you might argue and say that she is the number one most important voice at this moment in time.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Yeah. What did I say? I said, do you know where his studio is based out of or where Turning Point started? Phoenix. What is a phoenix? It's the fire.
It's a firebird.
The fire bird that's rising out of the ashes. All the occult is all about this Ouroboros, the phoenix rising out of the ashes. That's why it's on the dollar bill. Dude, they did it with 9/11. Dude, if you guys have not seen the video about, it shows Trump on there with a golden calf. I'm about to show the thumbnail, but you have to watch it because that blew my mind. That was the Holy Spirit totally leading, because I saw things that I'd never seen before. I didn't understand all the symbolism. Those towers were built to be destroyed. It was a ritual. 9 and 11, all those numbers have a significance. 11 means to build 2 pillars, destroy them, and put back 1 pillar. That's exactly what they did with those towers. They built 2 towers, and it says you can do it.
Amazing.
Yeah, it says you can do it physically or metaphorically.
That is so clear.
But they did it physically. They built 2 towers, and then they destroyed it, and now they brought back 1 world tower. And that's all about Phoenix rising from the ashes.
They have been sharing this symbolism for ages. I mean, for decades and decades before this actually took place.
Oh,
this
yeah.
was a planned thing.
Oh,
and
these
if you
are
go, if you look
patient people.
Exactly.
Because Satan's been around for thousands of years.
Symbol.
So now she's talking about igniting a fire. She's talking about igniting the world on fire, right? That's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at this. Burn, baby, burn. Dude, this picture was actually taken...
Okay, when was this?
This is 2018. And then, okay, so burn, baby, burn. He's the spark. She's the fire. They live in Phoenix. She's talking about, you don't know what you've just ignited. Burn the world. Look what this says.
It's so symbolic. It's so symbolic, brother.
Who coined the phrase "set the world on fire"? The phrase "set the world on fire" is attributed to Saint Ignatius of Loyola,
Ignatius of Loyola,
the founder of the Jesuit order. That wouldn't mean, that could be a huge coincidence, except that she went to a Jesuit college and she's wearing a Maltese cross and a G on her finger, and she's saying all these trigger words. Dude, this is more than a coincidence.
Whenever you get this many coincidences, you need to ask why.
Yeah. And so the Phoenix, because everything's in Phoenix right now. In the occult and spiritual sense, the Phoenix symbolizes resurrection, immortality, and profound spiritual transformation. This is all about bringing about new world order. Order out of chaos. It says resurrection and rebirth.
Rise from the ashes.
Immortality, transformation, and renewal. All of this is, look, born again from the ashes.
It's all the same stuff.
She's right now, she's calling to burn the world down so that we can build back order out of chaos.
Okay, now hold that thought. Trump says, I'm going to say it again, without a major event where people pull together, that's hard to bring the country back to its unity.
Wow, dude. This is the video I'm talking about. If you guys have not seen this, please watch it, because it'll make all this make so much more sense. Like right now, you probably just think, oh man, this guy's just reaching or whatever. When you already see what has been exposed in this video, it just, everything falls into place. And then she goes into the spiritualism. Charlie Wood, he'll be there. He'll be there in spirit. I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us. Spirit. This is necromancy. This is spiritualism. The dead know nothing. The dead rest in the grave until the resurrection of Christ's return, when he blows that trumpet sound, and the dust, the people of the dead that are in the dust of the earth will rise out of their graves. And so I was looking at her website, and she's talking about midweek rise up, rising from the ashes, spark notes on. See, I didn't know anything about this spark thing that's going on with her, but all these terms about fire and spark and rising from the ashes. And I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Burn? It looks like a brand. It looks like
yeah, what do you almost like a tuning fork.
You're right. Like I was like, what is this little extended thing on the end of this omega symbol? I thought it was an omega symbol, but yeah, maybe I don't want to jump into that if I'm wrong about that, because I was looking at like secret societies and esoteric traditions. The omega symbol carries multiple meanings. Basically, it means the end and renewal. It's the phoenix out of the ashes, because omega is end, the last. And then she says, but most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one.
I beg you to join one. Look at this. This is
beg
a
you.
revival, guys.
I beg you to join a church.
And there's so many people. I don't know about you, but I have been contacted. My wife has been contacted this week by people where we were like, what? Because why? And not even Christian people. I'm saying this is a revival going around the world right now.
Right.
People, through this Kirk effect,
Right.
people are becoming convicted.
Not the God
whether
effect.
you are a churchgoer or not. No. Whether you are a churchgoer or not, whether you're a Christian or not, people are feeling like that. This one lady said, I was not a Christian. I never wanted any of that. But after the death of Kirk, I felt drawn to my husband's Bible. This is the kind of stuff you're seeing.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm sure the Lord can work with some of this as well. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
in general, we got to be careful.
Because God can use anything to bring us to the truth, but we have to go to the source of truth. You have to go to God's word. That's how he speaks to us. You can't look to Charlie Kirk. You can't look to Trump. You can't look to Kenneth Copeland, all these people. Like, man, somebody's name in here is called Southern Baptist Mason. So there was a couple of strange things that I found when I was looking up their names. I'm used to looking up the names of people from movies and stuff to see what the characters represent and all that. And here I looked up, define the name Charlie, and it means free man. So Satan is all about pushing his false liberty, right? You see it in Transformers. They're saying all sentient beings deserve liberty. We have to kill that cube that created us, basically. You have to kill the creator to get liberty. There's a movie called Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. He was in a game system. He didn't realize it until he reached the end of the invisible wall, and it was all about breaking free, and to be lawless because he was bound by rules. The Matrix, Truman Show. You're bound in a system of rules, a perfect paradise, but you want to be free from that. Charlie means free. I also think it's interesting that the word char means to burn.
Oh, wow.
Char lie. Okay. Think about that. Char, the burning lie. And then Kirk. What does Kirk mean? A church or a place of worship. What? Wait, we want to start a new lawless church. That's what his name means. The Freeman Church. And it's got char lie, a burning lying church, dude. We're gonna burn down the old system.
They use the sound of what things sound like to send messages. It is very sophisticated, very very dark.
So yeah, even if you think char and lie is a stretch, it still means the free man church, which is the lawless church. And Jesus said, many are going to say, Lord, Lord, I wish that you were hot or cold, but because you're lukewarm, I'm going to vomit you out of my mouth. A lukewarm church, a lawless church, is one that believes in coexist and tolerance. And we're all, we're all children of God. Even if you practice voodoo and you're a Buddhist, we all believe in something. They're all different languages to God, the Pope said. So Erica, his wife, means eternal ruler. That's pretty interesting. Eternal ruler church. But remember, her last name used to be something different. What was her last name? Franz? Oh, what does it mean? What does it mean? Free man. Oh, what? So her name literally meant eternal ruler, the free man, eternal ruler. That's Lucifer. He wants to be the ruler of lawlessness.
They come to free us. They're here to free us
That's
from
right.
the law.
From the system.
What?
So isn't it weird that her maiden name means the same thing as his first name? Free man? Is that a coincidence? Are the two people who were martyrs having the same birthday? Was that a coincidence? What about
names, by the way, are extremely important for the occult. They're
Oh, yeah.
extremely important. Take that very seriously.
You mentioned this girl.
For those who don't know.
The girl on the train. I say I want to challenge anyone to watch that video. I didn't even want to watch it because when I saw what it was about, I'm like, I don't want to see that. But then my curiosity got the best of me because I'm like, is this a false flag or something? There's no blood on her neck. You look at that. It shows both sides. When you look at both camera angles and you make up your mind. When somebody gets jabbed 3 to 5 times and then they're sitting there for 20 seconds, fall out of their seat and the blood is under their butt but not on their neck, I got questions. When you conveniently fall behind a metal wall and it looks like a cup of blood just gets poured over a step, I got questions. I believe that if anyone watched that scene in a movie, they would mock it and say that was the fakest, cheesiest looking scene I've ever seen. But because it's on the news, we got to believe it, right? We can't believe that we're being duped, that we're being controlled by the controllers, that they're trying to divide and conquer. And what was the name of what was it called? The Charlotte murder. Her name wasn't Charlotte. It happened to Charlotte. What do we got again? Char? What does the word Charlotte mean? Free woman? Free man?
Wow.
Dude, what are the chances?
Do you have her name on there?
I don't. I should get her name.
You should have.
This was the guy.
Yeah, you should look that up.
Tyler Robinson. I couldn't figure out anything about his name.
Don't jump to Tyler just yet. With the Charlotte, the Ukrainian girl.
Oh, look up her name.
Yeah, look it up, please. Whether you believe that it was staged or not, or maybe she could have been a sacrifice. That's a possibility. Maybe you believe she was a sacrifice. Maybe you believe, it was staged. But whatever the case is,
that happened on 22 as well.
What we can say is that they are exploiting that one as well. Like I brought up earlier, you see this young white girl and these black people all around this guy with tattoos, and he looks very rough, and he's over here with a knife. His last name is Brown. It's almost like they are trying to
that's crazy.
Speak to you. Think of it, Brown, almost like become afraid of this.
Yeah.
And so it's doing more of that fear, putting fear in people, and it's causing you to be like, I'm afraid of those people. Those people are scary to me. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, it's like they're using both of these deaths on purpose to further the divide. So pay attention to that whenever you see this Hegelian dialectic.
So I'm not seeing her last name mean anything, but her first name means peace and harmony. So it's kind of like,
wait a second, there is
brown,
no more peace. Yes,
the brown
exactly.
is killing the peace and harmony.
The brown is killing and destroying your peace. That is.
It's interesting that we have 205 people in here. We've been going for 2 hours, and just now we got like 3 thumbs down. And was it about the girl? Because that makes me almost want to show you the video clip, because it's just like, just look at it, man. I'm not gonna do it for you. You watch the video clip and show me where is the blood on her neck. Literally the place that got attacked has no blood. And so I'm only just looking at, what am I looking at? I'm asking questions because it doesn't make sense to me, and I don't trust the media. It has nothing to do with me against some girl. This is me not trusting politics, the rulers of this world, the mainstream media, the propaganda. That's what this is about.
Recognizing constant symbolism in everything that happens, recognizing that this is a stage and that this is a movie, and that we're
Jesuit theater.
Jesuit theater.
Tyler Robinson was 22 years old, and the death of that girl on the train was on August 22. Always 22, always 11, always 33, 6. So I don't know where you're going with this, but something that caught my attention was Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson. The name Robinson means son of Robin, which means nothing to me. But what was the other event that just happened? Another trans person shot up a Catholic school, was doing target practice on Jesus, and just happened to write his manifesto on the bullets.
Kyle, come on.
This is like a movie script.
Listen to how ridiculous that sounds.
They said the same thing.
Practice on Jesus.
Yeah,
He's
they
doing
said the
target
same
practice
thing
on
with
Jesus.
with this too. With this situation, they wrote the manifesto on the bullets.
His canister, right on the
Who does
bullet
that?
Canister, something like that.
What was the name of the shooter?
Only it.
Look, I said, who shot up the Catholic school in Minneapolis? What was his name? Where is it at? Minneapolis shooter. What's his name?
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Where's his name at?
Yeah. This is trying to send a message.
Look at that.
To
What does that say?
Robin.
What?
That's interesting.
Wait,
Robin.
the shooter's name was Robin? What was the shooter's name that just... Robinson? I don't know, man. I know people are just going to be... What are the chances, man? These things happened a month or two apart or something. And you got Robin and Robinson.
Yeah. And I just want to say they're all connected. What they're trying to do, I believe, because this is Jesuit theater, that this whole life is nothing but just a theater that we're living in, a matrix, if you will. They're trying to instill the LGBT as dangerous, as deranged, and the Christian needs to be afraid of them. The same thing with the races. Blacks need to feel disrespected by whites. Whites need to be afraid or feel disrespect. It's all the same stuff over and over again on repeat. It's just theater.
I see some people in the chat thinking that this is... What was her name? Let's see, Charlotte... Because I don't want to believe we're duped. I don't want to believe that everything's a lie. I don't want to look at something and think that it's fake or anything either. How can I mute this
Shoe
thing?
brands have been lying to you. Do you
Even
want
the
to know
shoe,
why?
even the shoes are lying to you. Oh my!
Nobody believed me at first, but now
The guy's gonna get up.
This is a bad video, but okay. So there it is under the seat. I'm looking at her neck. Nothing. That's the side she was attacked on. Somebody just said something about left. There was another view. You can watch the other view. Same thing. The other view. I have the screenshots on my phone, but watch both views. I challenge you. I challenge you. I don't want to believe this stuff either, man. Wow.
We certainly didn't start off believing this stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I'm tempted to look at this thing. I want you to look at the letters on his shirt. It says freedom. See the FREEDOM? And look, what happens to the letters here? Read them? The F is gone. There's the F. The F is gone. I know, I get it. The shirt's moving, it's folding. I'm taking all that into consideration. Also, watch the second E R-E-E. Look at the second E. Watch it move. Let me see. Where is it at? I don't know. Man, there's some weird stuff. When you look at the hole, it's moving on the neck and everything. I don't know, man. I just don't trust anything, man. I don't trust the mainstream media news. I'm not saying, I don't know. You saw everything we presented. I mean, there's number patterns, there's hand signs, there's rings, there's necklaces, there's blatant admissions of being baptized Catholic and went to a Jesuit college, talking to the camera saying, I want to burn the world down. I see an agenda happening. And, there's people saying like, why people see that he was a Sabbath keeper, that he defended Christianity, and they can't see how it plays into the agenda. But Satan has to get both sides. The dragon is going to deceive the whole world, not the liberal left. There had to be a hero. There had to be somebody for the right to lift up and idolize that was charismatic and said things that they agree with, and then be taken out so that we would be enraged and say, yeah, Civil War time, because it's divide and conquer. And when there's chaos,
That's what this is really about.
Yeah, when there's chaos, that's when we're willing to give up all our freedoms. We give up all our freedoms for peace and safety. And that's where I see all this headed.
We may disagree on how it happened or what happened. And I'm talking about everyone here.
Right.
But one thing we should be able to see, I would say, is that yes, they are unifying the country. Yes, this was the crisis that they were looking for. Yes, there is a divide taking place.
Yeah.
There is a civil war that is going to take place against every two-sided, polar opposite situation. And these things are real. And yes, we are living in the Matrix, so to speak. This is Jesuit theater. What we see on TV and on the news is not real. It's not real. I mean, you can tell that it's not real. There are compilations of news anchors saying the same things all over the world.
Same script.
And it makes no sense for them to repeat that stuff. Happened with COVID. Happened with COVID. That stuff. I mean, I have collections of different articles and videos that I've collected over the years. Stuff with COVID. I mean, it's just like they're mocking our stupidity, really, is partially what one of the things they're doing. But they know they can get away with this stuff because people like you, people like me, we don't want to believe this stuff is real, because why would we want to?
Right.
It's
Who
sad.
Who wants to live in a world of lies, man?
We want to live in a world of peace. We want to live in a world of happiness. But we look around and we look at this stuff, and this really is happening. And we're sad to announce it. But what we're doing here right now, Mikey and I, we're announcing that something evil is coming, and they're exploiting this death. All right, whatever you believe about the death, put that aside for a minute. They are exploiting the death. And it's not good what is happening, because our country, it's going downhill now. From here on out, I believe personally that this is a turning point for the USA.
Yeah.
Personally, I believe that is a predictive programming. That's just a personal conviction. If you understand what I mean by that. But this is a turning point for the United States of America, for the world, because goes America, goes the world. We all know that. So we are seeing this is happening now. So that's all we're saying. You don't have to believe every detail, you know, but at least open your eyes and admit those things that cannot be denied.
What do you think about this comment right here, if you can read that?
If you think Satan is trying to uplift Christianity, you are a fool. Oh, 100% he's trying to uplift Christianity. I mean, that's the whole point of, then you would have to deny the Bible verse that talks about that Satan is going to be transformed into an angel of light, that Paul said he's going to come from among us.
Yeah.
Antichrist comes from among us. So, all throughout the Bible, you know that God's people are going to wolf in
sheep's clothing.
Sheep's clothing.
Wheat and tares look the same. Wheat and tares look the same.
They say the same things.
False Christ.
They all look the same.
False apostles.
Christ.
False disciples.
So, if you don't understand all these Bible verses that describe all these things, if you don't understand that Antichrist is actually in the place of Christ,
right? Yep.
Then you aren't going to understand. You're not going to accept that Satan is going to uplift Christianity. Yes, it is true that God can use that for a time, but after you get to
because God's dealing with us till the end, till He returns. He'll use anything.
He deals with deception. He deals with deception all day long. He deals with people who are in cults. He deals with people who have been deeply deceived. He can deal with deception. So he can save people out of any level of deception.
I'm wondering.
So that's my response to
this
that
person
question.
says there is no the Antichrist. We never said anything about the Antichrist. There are many Antichrists. And like a big portion of that is the Catholic Church, which proclaims to be Christian. So for you to say, why would Satan lift up Christianity? Why do we have the Catholic Church? I mean, that's a prime example right there. Why do we have Mormonism, the Church of Jesus of Latter-day Saints, the Church of Jesus Christ? Like, if you were going to find a church and you're looking, I worship Jesus, which church I'm going to go to? They actually have Jesus in the title. I'm going to go to that church, but they have a false Christ. What about New Agers? New Agers talk to Jesus one-on-one. He's one of their many ascended masters. If you think that just because you believe in Jesus, that's Christianity, that's not. Which Jesus? There's many of them. The Jehovah's Witness Jesus, the Mormon Jesus, the New Age Jesus, the Buddhist Jesus, the Catholic Jesus. So, yeah, I mean, you have to be very careful to think that Satan is not going to lift up Christianity. It's just like this kid that was on ketamine. He was in the hospital. He was on drugs, and he had the same experience that everyone has on ketamine. They go out of their body. They see angelic beings. They see Jesus. They talk to dead people. I can give you testimony after testimony after testimony. I've put it on this channel already. And yet everybody was so emotionally driven by this little boy crying, saying he saw his dead dad in Jesus. That is a false Christ. The dead know nothing. You're talking to the dead is necromancy. But Christians have lost all discernment.
At that point, you're going to have so much emotional connection to that. When you see your dead mom walking down the hallway, and she says, "My son, I have missed you and I love you." And she talks the way she talks. She walks the way she walks. You are so convinced that she is your mother. You're going to be so emotionally connected that your heart will deceive you. Don't trust your heart. It will betray you.
Yeah. It says Satan hates Jesus. He doesn't want people reading what Jesus said. Dude, I can show you New Age books that 90% of the book is the Bible. Law of attraction, manifestation, the secret, they're using scripture all the time.
Look at the occult.
Yeah,
look at the occult. They have the Bible up there. Whatever your culture is, they have the Quran, the Bible.
You get a Bible when you join the Masons.
I mean, come on. We don't know Jesus's words right now. We're in a crisis. Our country doesn't know Jesus, and we have 15 Bibles in every house.
That's right.
We don't even know his words. We don't open up the Bible and read them. Otherwise, we wouldn't be saying the things we're saying.
Right. We have itching ears.
That's
We
the
don't want the
proof.
truth. We listen. That's another
Itching
verse
ears
in the
means I
Bible.
want to hear what I want to hear.
Yeah, another verse in the Bible.
Prophesy smooth things to me.
They will not heed sound doctrine because they're listening to things that itch their ears. That's saying they are going to church. They're listening to a pastor, but he's not teaching the truth. He's saying things like Joe Osteen, like, oh, Jesus loves you and you're rich and beautiful and just smile and everything's good. No, you're going to die for the truth.
Get it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Wow, man.
So we got to be very careful. That is a big time deception.
Yeah, man.
I think that you can just do whatever, believe whatever, and then you're set. You got to be sanctified by the words of Christ. His words have to go inside of you. You have to eat them spiritually, figuratively. You eat them, you become them. They change you. That's how it works. If you don't know his word, if it's not hiding in your heart, you're going to be lost.
Yep. By a show of thumbs up and thumbs down, let us know what you think. Like I said, this was just a look at patterns, look at evidence, because we don't want to be ignorant. You know, the Bible says, do not be ignorant of his devices. If we just go through life thinking that the TV said it must be real, we are in big trouble. And, you know, God had to wake me up in December 2011. I never saw the world like this, man. I lived in a weed, alcohol, fornication every day, all day, every day. That was my life. And I just thought, you know, the world is fun and there's nothing going on in it. No deception behind the scenes. And God woke me up in an instant, December 2011, and I can't unsee what he's shown me. And it's now 2025. And I just refuse to walk through this life blind anymore. That's what the Bible says. That the God of this world, who's Satan, has blinded the minds of the unbelievers. And they're going to buy into a strong delusion. There's all these things about that there is deception in our world, and that we need to be watching lest we fall prey to those traps. So that's all I got, man.
So much, so much important information to cover.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of that is very important. We need to understand these things because we're entering into a turning point for sure.
Well, you prayed us in. I'll pray us out. All right. Lord Father in heaven, we just thank you so much for truth. We thank you for your word. We thank you for prophecy. We thank you for giving us, those who ask for it, discernment and the gift of your Holy Spirit. And a lot of things that are happening in this world we wish weren't happening. But we know that we're living in the last days. We know that much deception is coming because that's the first warning you gave when people asked, what are the signs of your coming? You said, do not be deceived, that there'll be many false prophets and all these things that are coming upon the world before you come. And so the good news is that you are coming soon. And the not so good news is that there's going to be a lot of bad things happening. But Lord, I just pray that you would be with us, conform us, transform us, renew our minds, mold us into your character so that we can be shining lights in this dark world, so that we can help reach people in these times of great deception. And Lord, help us to be ready for your soon return, and help us to not fall for the deceptive things that are coming. And Lord, you never send truth to offend or to trigger, but the truth will set us free. And Lord, like we said, no matter what you believe about this situation, we see where things are going, where the direction of the rulers of this world are taking things, and they're using crises to make those things happen. So Lord, I thank you for everybody that's here, who chose to be here when they could have been anywhere else. I just pray that you would bless each and every one of us and help us to just prepare people for your soon return. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, man. I know there was some technical difficulties at the beginning, but man, it worked out. Even with a late live, we had up to over 200 people in here. So that's awesome.
Good. Is that a pretty good showing?
Yeah, usually it's 90s, something like that. Just depends on what the topic is.
Wow.
But yeah.
It held at 200.
Yeah, man. Well, do you have any kind of do you have a ministry or anything you want to promote?
Yeah, actually promote the Advent Age YouTube channel.
Advent Age has YouTube channel.
Pull that up. Yeah,
Let's see.
Pull that up. We are just starting off. We don't even have 1,000 followers yet. So if you'd like to follow us, we would love for you to do that. Advent Age Missions. Please?
Yeah, Advent Age Missions.
My wife and I.
So these are videos from camp meetings that you actually host.
Right. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've
Yeah,
got
so
some
you guys
shorts,
are located in
shorts.
Alabama.
Haleyville, Alabama. Yes, we do camp meetings. We bring people. We do revivals, campouts, do all kinds of different things.
You've had some big speakers there, man. You've had Brad from Strange Normal. Yeah. You've had Scott Ritzma. Yep, I've been there.
Coming back.
Scott Ritzma, Scotty Meyer from Little Light, Christian Bardal. Yeah, man. So yeah, check out Advent Age.
Doing those lately.
Nice.
Yes. My wife does a lot of the shorts.
Oh, that's awesome.
And those are the.
This one was cool. They lied to you about hell. I love that one.
No, which one?
They lied to you about hell.
There we go.
Awesome, man. Oh, dude, that's what's up. Yeah. Well, man, thanks for joining this.
Yes, sir.
Going almost 2.5 hours, and there's a lot of information, and you brought a lot of good stuff, man. Thanks for
praise God.
Thanks for your input.
Praise God. I enjoyed it. I'd love to do it again.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
man. We'll stick around on there, and I'll talk to you in a second.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you guys for being a part of this. If this was eye-opening to you, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps get this video out into the algorithm. If you know somebody that needs to see this, please share it with them. And if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss another video. We come out with at least a video a week, at least 1 or 2. We go live all the time on deep dive topics like this. If you want to support this ministry, you can do so by going to candidtruth.org. We got Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal. We even got Patreon. We are a donation-based ministry, and we cannot do this without you guys. If you guys have been given to us, we see you, we love you, we thank you. We cannot do this without you. If you guys like t-shirts, we got some cool t-shirts on the website. We get about $5 commission on each of those. And if it takes a long time, I'm sorry, that's Teespring. They do take a long time. But we thank you guys, and we love you, and we'll see you next time on Candid Truth.